According to Forbes, General Atomics communicates with Ukrainian officials about purchasing the MQ-9 Reaper armed drone. A General Atomics official said they are ready to hand over the drones immediately if the U.S. government gives the green light. So, a few days from now, if the U.S. government approves these drones, Ukrainian military pilots may be flying these planes. The military-industrial complex seeks to persuade the White House to send unmanned fighter jets to Ukraine to fight against Russian attacks after failing to persuade the Biden administration to ship NATO fighters to Ukraine. Ukrainian officials reportedly met with General Atomics, a major U.S. defense contractor, to discuss acquiring the hunter-killer MQ-9 Reaper drone, which is armed with Hellfire missiles and was famously used by the United States in botched airstrikes that killed terrorists in Afghanistan, Somalia, and other places around the world. Ukraine's allies in Washington are urging officials to allow the export, even if the risk of escalation may lead to an even more terrible nuclear war. General David Deptula, dean of the renowned Mitchell Institute for Aerospace Studies, funded by General Atomics, wrote an article in Forbes in March urging the United States to deliver Ukraine Reapers before Ukraine's interest was publicly known. As the crisis in Ukraine has gone on and the United States' goals have shifted towards seeking a weakened Russia, the White House has indicated an increased willingness to provide Ukraine with weaponry. Only shoulder-fired missiles, backpack-sized drones known as switchblades, and encrypted communications devices were initially available. However, heavy artillery weaponry, armored personnel carriers, and experimental drones known as Phoenix Ghosts have lately been approved by the administration. U.S. drone pilot training takes almost a year. Brinkley said that it might be dramatically cut in half. According to analysts' current estimates, every logistic footprint and training timeframe is predicated on how the U.S. military intends to use the aircraft. Training and deployment activities in a situation like this may drastically reduce those estimations and footprints, he writes. Brinkley noted that Ukrainian military pilots who are proficient with UAV missions are driven to defend and safeguard their homeland. We're not starting from the beginning, he said. According to a journal, the $32 million price tag for each drone would not be a massive issue because the United States would foot the tab. At this point, neither the actual quantity nor the model of Reapers under consideration is known. It surfaced that the Biden administration cleared an $800 million arms sale earlier this month in Washington, D.C. Ukraine has received 18 155mm howitzers, 200 M113 armored personnel carriers, 11 Mi-17 helicopters, and 100 armored multi-purpose vehicles, or AMRs. The addition of artillery to this consignment marks an improvement in the shipment of weapons. Despite this, the U.S. administration is still cautious about delivering heavy weapons like tanks and fighter planes, which may intensify the battle. Firepower, range, and accuracy. With the help of the Reaper, Turkish-made TB2 Bayraktar drones can inflict significantly more damage on Russian soldiers than they currently inflict. More potent and longer-range weapons may be carried by the MQ-9A thanks to its payload of 1,700 kilograms or 3,800 pounds compared to the TB2's payload of only 150 kilograms or 325 pounds. In addition, the TB2's 150-kilometer range limits its ability to conduct deeper strikes into enemy territory, while the American aircraft's 1,200-mile range gives it an advantage in takeoff and flight safety. This aircraft's expanded ISR, or intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities, would allow the Ukrainian military to better track the enemy's movements. The MQ-9B Reaper drone would be the first UAS, or unmanned aircraft system, in its class to be able to take off and land from large amphibious assault ships, thanks to a short takeoff and landing, or STOL modification. Even if the remainder of the aircraft systems are unchanged, adding an optional wing and tail kit only takes one day. For use in a hangar or runway, this kit can expand the capabilities of an existing aircraft. Even while the GAASI does not currently plan on selling any STOL capacity drones to customers, the company is likely to do so in the future. Consider removing the Jeep's roof. Taking it apart and storing it in your garage will result in a standalone automobile. Install the hardtop if it starts to rain. We're all basically the same in this aspect. Mr. David Alexander, president of GAASI, stated, "Take a standard MQ-9B, put on the STOL kit, and then fly." General Atomics has released an animated video depicting a Marine Corps branded MQ-9 taking flight from the deck of the USS Macon Island on May the 10th. Taking flight from amphibious assault ships. According to General Atomics' website, we can now use this highly competent long-endurance aircraft to land and take off from more airfields in more places. Vertical takeoff and landing capability are required for amphibious assault ships. AV-8B Harriers and F-335 Lightning IIs both have this capability. The 844-foot-long American-class amphibious assault ships must have a vertical lift aircraft like a helicopter. Because the ship's topside length of 1,100 feet prevents a normal takeoff, even for an aircraft carrier of the Nimitz class, any non-rotary wing aircraft on board must use catapults to depart. The USS America was an amphibious assault ship like this. As with any other naval aircraft, the MQ-9B STOL's folding wings allow it to be parked on the deck or in the hangar bay. No special ship launch equipment is required for taking off from the ship's bow like you would with any other aircraft. That catapult Alexander thought was unnecessary. Area surveillance that is constant and long range. The STOL Reaper's potential to provide long-range ISR capability anywhere a Navy big deck ship or even a small remote airstrip will spark the interest of both the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Marine Corps. An M250 turboshaft powers the MQ-9. Eagle Eye Long-Range Synthetic Aperture Radar (SAR) with moving target indicator capability, signal intelligence, and communication relay pods may all be bolted onto the U.S. military's most sophisticated aircraft, and also equipped with a high-resolution EO/IR nose-mounted sensor. Even so, it has a wide variety of air-to-ground weaponry, including JDAM, Hellfire, and laser-guided bombs. The Reaper has the potential to be an effective long-term surveillance device capable of monitoring broader parts of the ocean. It becomes tactically vital to keep an eye on as many places as possible when considering the immense width of the Pacific Ocean, where the United States is most likely to face up against China. The MQ-9 can also be employed as a sub-hunter thanks to a sonobuoy launcher on its wing. The return of the sonobuoy data to the ship or sub-hunting helicopters on the bottom would be made possible through a data link, allowing for more research and exploitation. U.S. Navy and Marine Corps both seem to be interested. Anti-submarine warfare activities by the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps include the development of remotely piloted or optionally manned aircraft that can operate at sea, or ASW. The STOL Reaper, which can undertake ISR, infrared surveillance and reconnaissance, surface warfare, sub-hunting, and electronic warfare tasks for military service, is being considered. The Navy has to replace the MH-60R and MQ-8C Fire Scouts. The Marine Corps is interested in the STOL Reaper's capabilities as part of its new EABO force structure concept for ships at sea and in the aquatic force. MQ-9 Reaper's surveillance and anti-submarine capabilities could be valuable in defending distant islands in the Pacific, for example. As part of the Marine Corps' 2022 aviation plan, the Reaper will be equipped with an airborne early warning system. With its Sea Spray 7500E V2, General Atomics tested an MQ-9's air and surface search and tracking capabilities using the ESAA radar. This was announced in April. The STOL version of the Reaper could also be exported, particularly in the marine arena, where there are few aircraft carriers and many amphibious assault ships. What do you guys think about the dangerous and awesome MQ-9 Reaper? Leave a comment below. Also, if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon for any new updates. See you in the next one.